Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, today we take a look at the words of Hippocrates, who is often regarded as the father of medicine. His views not only revolutionized the field of health, but also provided profound guidance on how to live a balanced and healthy life. Before we look at the timeless wisdom of Hippocrates, the father of medicine, I invite you to subscribe to our channel and join our community of learners and thinkers. Your support helps us continue to bring you inspiring content. If you have already subscribed, thank you, and now let's explore together the insightful words of this genius scientist. Men ought to know that from the brain and from the brain only arise our pleasures, joys, laughter, and jests, as well as our sorrows, pains, griefs, and tears. It is the same thing which makes us mad or delirious, inspires us with dread and fear, whether by night or by day, brings us sleeplessness, inopportune mistakes, aimless anxieties, absent-mindedness, and acts that are contrary to habit. It is better not to apply any treatment in cases of occult cancer, for if treated, the patients die quickly, but if not treated, they hold out for a long time. Illnesses do not come upon us out of the blue. They are developed from small daily sins against nature. When enough sins have accumulated, illnesses will suddenly appear. The greatest medicine of all is teaching people how not to need it. If someone wishes for good health, one must first ask oneself if he is ready to do away with the reasons for his illness. Only then is it possible to help him. Everyone has a doctor in him or her. We just have to help it in its work. The natural healing force within each one of us is the greatest force in getting well. Our food should be our medicine. Our medicine should be our food. But to eat when you are sick is to feed your sickness. If you are not your own doctor, you are a fool. Our food should be our medicine, and our medicine should be our food. Health is the greatest of human blessings. All disease starts in the gut. The natural healing force within each one of us is the greatest force in getting well. It's far more important to know what person the disease has than what disease the person has. Leave your drugs in the chemist's pot if you can heal the patient with food. The natural force within each of us is that greatest healer of all. Foolish the doctor who despises the knowledge acquired by the ancients. Wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity. Physicians are many in title, but very few in reality. Just as food causes chronic disease, it can be the most powerful cure. Positive health requires a knowledge of man's primary constitution and of the powers of various foods, both those natural to them and those resulting from human skill. But eating alone is not enough for health. There must also be exercise, of which the effects must likewise be known. The combination of these two things makes regimen. When proper attention is given to the season of the year, the changes of the wind, the age of the individual, and the situation of his home. If there is any deficiency in food or exercise, the body will fall sick. A wise man ought to realize that health is his most valuable possession. Anyone wishing to study medicine must master the art of massage. To do nothing is sometimes a good remedy. Everything in excess is opposed to nature. Walking is a man's best medicine. Rest as soon as there is pain. A physician without a knowledge of astrology has no right to call himself a physician. To really know is science. To merely believe you know is ignorance. Nature itself is the best physician. Things that are holy are revealed only to men who are holy. If we could give every individual the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little and not too much, we would have found the safest way to health. Cure sometimes, treat often, comfort always. Natural forces within us are the true healers of disease. Sport is a preserver of health. That which is used develops. That which is not used wastes away. The way to health is to have an aromatic bath and a scented massage every day. Each of the substances of a man's diet acts upon his body and changes it in some way, and upon these changes, his whole life depends. The function of protecting and developing health must rank even above that of restoring it when it is impaired. It is more important to know the person who has the condition than it is to know the condition the person has. It is most necessary to know the nature of the spine. One or more vertebrae may or may not go out of place very much, and if they do, they are likely to produce serious complications and even death, if not properly adjusted. Many diseases are related to the spine. Sleep and watchfulness, both of them, when immoderate, constitute disease. The wise man should consider that health is the greatest of human blessings. Let food be your medicine. We must turn to nature itself, to the observations of the body in health and in disease to learn the truth. It is better to be full of drink than full of food. All parts of the body which have a function, if used in moderation and exercised in labors in which each is accustomed, become thereby healthy, well-developed, and age more slowly. But if unused, they become liable to disease, defective in growth, and age quickly. The patient must combat the disease along with the physician. Any man who is intelligent must, on considering that health is of the utmost value to human beings, have the personal understanding necessary to help himself in diseases, and be able to understand and to judge what physicians say and what they administer to his body, being versed in each of these matters to a degree reasonable for a layman. Fat people who want to reduce should take their exercise on an empty stomach and sit down to their food out of breath. Thin people who want to get fat should do exactly the opposite and never take exercise on an empty stomach. There are in fact two things, science and opinion. The former begets knowledge, the latter ignorance. Divine is the task to relieve pain. Healing in a matter of time, but it is sometimes also a matter of opportunity. Declare the past, diagnose the present, foretell the future, practice these acts. All excesses are inimical to nature. It is safer to proceed a little at a time, especially when changing from one regimen to another. Where there is love of medicine, there is love of humankind. Even when all is known, the care of a man is not yet complete, because eating alone will not keep a man well. He must also take exercise. For food and exercise, while possessing opposite qualities, yet work together to produce health. I will use treatment to help the sick, according to my ability and judgment, but never with a view to injury and wrongdoing. Neither will I administer a poison to anybody when asked to do so, nor will I suggest such a course. Similarly, I will not give to a woman a pessary to cause abortion. I will keep pure and holy both my life and my art. Some patients, though conscious that their condition is perilous, recover their health simply through their contentment with the goodness of the physician. Opposites are cures for opposites. The human soul develops up to the time of death. Male and female have the power to fuse into one solid, both because both are nourished in both, and also because soul is the same thing in all living creatures, although the body of each is different. Life is short, and the art long, the occasion fleeting, experience fallacious, and judgment difficult. The physician must not only be prepared to do what is right himself, but also to make the patient, the attendants, and externals cooperate. He who does not understand astrology is not a doctor, but a fool. Those diseases which medicines do not cure, iron cures. Those which iron cannot cure, fire cures. And those which fire cannot cure are to be reckoned wholly incurable. The human body contains blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. These are the things that make up its constitution and cause its pain and health. Health is primarily that state in which these constituent substances are in the correct proportion to each other, both in strength and quantity, and are well mixed. Men think epilepsy divine merely because they do not understand it. We will one day understand what causes it and then cease to call it divine. And so it is with everything in the universe. When in sickness, look to the spine first. Old people have fewer diseases than the young, but their diseases never leave them. He who wishes to be a surgeon should go to war. Conclusions which are merely verbal cannot bear fruit. Only those do which are based on demonstrated fact. For affirmation and talk are deceptive and treacherous. Wherefore one must hold fast to facts, in generalizations also, and occupy oneself with facts persistently if one is to acquire that ready and infallible habit, which we call the art of medicine. Do not tell anyone about your illness, for this silent trial only brings you closer to the infinite mercy and power of Allah. Every time you suffer, every time you shed a tear, know that it is a sign of your Lord's love for you. These troubles purify you, elevate your soul, and open the doors of eternal love and peace beyond this world. Your patience and faith is a secluded act of worship, and this is the most precious gift in the eyes of Allah. Silence is not only never thirsty, but also never brings pain or sorrow. All the most acute, most powerful, and most deadly diseases, and those which are most difficult to be understood by the inexperienced, fall upon the brain. The physician must have at his command a certain ready wit, as dourness is repulsive both to the healthy and the sick. A natural talent is required, for when nature opposes, everything else is in vain, but when nature leads the way to what is most excellent, instruction in the art takes place, which the student must try to appropriate to himself by reflection, becoming an early pupil in a place well adapted for instruction. He must also bring to the task a love of labor and perseverance, so that the instruction taking root may bring forth proper and abundant fruits. Thank you for joining us on this journey with the wisdom of Hippocrates. We hope his words have inspired you and provided valuable insights for living a healthy life. Which quote resonated with you the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video enlightening, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing it with others. Your support helps us continue to create content that enriches and enlightens. Until next time, stay curious and continue to explore the wisdom of the past for a better future.